USCIS is being stricter in 2026, and a lot of people are feeling it. More cases are getting extra scrutiny. Requests for evidence, RFEs, are showing up more often, and avoidable mistakes are turning into delays and denials. If you're filing a family-based case, an employment-based case, or any green card-related application, you need to understand what USCIS is focusing on right now and what can quietly sink a case that otherwise should have been approved. My name is Michael, and welcome back to US Policy Brief. In the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through the 5 biggest issues USCIS is watching in 2026, and what you can do to protect your case before you submit anything. Stay to the end because number 5 is the one that catches people after they think they're safe, after approval. The 5 things USCIS is watching right now, 2026. 1. The form-filling trap. Inconsistencies and small errors that cause rejections and RFEs. This is the fastest way to turn a good case into a problem. USCIS is rejecting or delaying cases for things like misspelled names or inconsistent name versions, with or without middle name, spacing, hyphens. Blank answers where USCIS expects NA or none. Missing signatures, still one of the most common reasons for rejection. Using an outdated edition of a form, missing pages of the form packet, incorrect filing fees, or incorrect payment method, uploading the wrong supporting document copies, or unreadable scans. And yes, USCIS does compare your new filing to your older filings. If your current forms don't match your past record, it can create suspicion or trigger deeper review. How to avoid it? Download forms only from the official USCIS website. Triple-check every name, date, address, A number, and prior immigration history line. Have a second person review your packet. If you filed anything in the past, compare the new filing to your old copies so you're not accidentally creating contradictions. 2. Filing under the wrong category or choosing the wrong process. This is a major source of wasted time and future scrutiny. Examples. USCIS sees all the time. Filing form I-130, but not understanding that a person inside the U.S. may also need form I-485, if eligible. Choosing consular processing when the person is eligible for adjustment of status, or vice versa, using the wrong filing address or filing location. Filing form I-90 when you actually need form I-751, removing conditions on a 2-year green card. Filing too early when the visa bulletin doesn't allow the next step yet, leading to rejection or return. USCIS also notices a pattern of wrong filings. It creates a messy record and can lead to more questions later. Why did you file this wrong? Who prepared this? What else is wrong in the history? How to avoid it? Confirm your exact category and eligibility before filing. If your case depends on visa availability, check the visa bulletin. If you have a 2-year conditional green card, do not treat it like a regular renewal. Removing conditions is a different process. 3. Ignoring past immigration or criminal history, even old issues. This is where people get blindsided, especially when something happened years ago and they assume it no longer matters. USCIS looks closely at prior overstays, entries without inspection, past removal or deportation orders, prior visa denials, prior misrepresentation issues, any criminal arrests, charges, convictions, even if the case was dismissed or expunged under state law. And if you file for a benefit you're not eligible for, especially Form I-485 when there's a disqualifying entry issue, USCIS can deny the case. In some situations, a denial can also increase exposure to removal proceedings, depending on the person's status and history. How to avoid it? Do not forget or hide anything. Get your records. If you don't have them, request them. If there's any arrest history, get certified court dispositions. If there are immigration issues, talk to a qualified immigration attorney, because some problems may have solutions, like waivers, but only if you handle them correctly. 4. Weak evidence that doesn't prove eligibility. USCIS is approving benefits based on proof, not promises. Common weak evidence problems include marriage-based cases, not enough proof of a shared life, joint lease, mortgage, joint bills, joint bank accounts, insurance, photos across time, affidavits, etc. We just got married, with little supporting documentation and no clear explanation. Affidavit of support issues, Form I-864. Sponsor income, not meeting requirements, missing tax returns, W-2s, confusing household size, not enough evidence of current employment, employment-based cases, missing proof of qualifications, employer documents not consistent, job title or duties don't match filings. Ability to pay issues, for certain employer-sponsored cases, self-petitions without strong supporting documentation. How to avoid it? Don't file until your evidence matches the legal requirements. If your case depends on proving something, relationship, income, job eligibility, treat it like you're building a file for someone who knows nothing about you, because that's exactly what USCIS is. 5. The post-approval compliance mistakes that can cause major problems later. This is the silent one, because it happens after someone gets approved and thinks the risk is over. Examples include not updating your address with USCIS, Form AR-11, when required long trips outside the U.S. that raise abandonment questions for green card holders, especially extended absences, trouble with taxes, not filing, filing incorrectly, claiming non-resident when you're a resident, etc. Criminal issues after approval, including DUI-related problems in some situations, applying for citizenship later, and discovering you don't meet good moral character or residence requirements because of choices made after getting the green card. Approval is not the end of immigration responsibility, especially if your long-term goal is naturalization. How to avoid it? Maintain U.S. ties, travel carefully, keep your records, file taxes properly, and don't ignore legal issues. If you plan to apply for citizenship, start living like an N-400 applicant now, not later. Quick recap. In 2026, USCIS scrutiny is hitting hardest when people submit inconsistent or incomplete forms, choose the wrong category or filing path, ignore past immigration or criminal history, file with weak evidence, slip up after approval and create problems for renewals, travel, or citizenship. These are avoidable if you slow down, prepare properly, and get professional guidance when your history is complicated. If you want more updates like this, subscribe to US Policy Brief and turn on notifications. And if you're comfortable sharing, comment below. Are you filing family-based, employment-based, or removing conditions? I can tailor the next video to the situation most people are dealing with right now. Disclaimer. This is general information, not legal advice. Immigration outcomes depend on individual facts. If you need help for your specific case, consult a qualified immigration attorney.